Good evening. I will read one-of-a-kind contribution from the Notes of Eternal Migration, Edo, the Death, the introduction. Sacrifice to a certain lady who was a genius and a magician, whose soul was slaughtered on my very eyes, and the souls of our daughters, Alpha, Noir, and Omega Alba, were destroyed on our very eyes. And as we lived together, we lived through plenty of hatred of pigs and jealousy of swine, because when two magicians meet, there is plenty of pigs around, howling in envy that it is not them. It is a story how pigs of earth ruined, buried in ice, and destroyed something that surpassed them in the great titanic walk of gods of Eros. What we tried to achieve is the grand walking of Isis and Osiris mysteries. What I managed to achieve is to dispatch her spirit back to Magna Mater Kybele before her soul was slain. You pigs. Now I will read a fragment that I commissioned to her and contributed to her. I give in a gift so that you may give others, not thieve from others, not thieve from me and her, but to give freely, as humans proved themselves to be pathetic thieves of identities, of everything that shone. Those pathetic cretins. Alright. So she shined with the violent tonalities of the universe, the cosmic passion tone, the superficially raw forms of mortality. Among the holy Yinges symbols and seals, the geometry of the abyss and eons construed her as a priestess, consecrated as the servant of the world and the mystical companion. Brightly, she was fading away in ecstasies and laughter of all the forms that she left behind. The mirage of greatness that were left as traces, to call others to the mighty, starry vaults. When she was flying with her spirit, she left behind the lunar tear that adorned earth for a suspended yet humble moment, and a disarming great golden light that spread to the globe and the last silent sigh. Too subtle to understand it and to notice it in the ocean of infinite understanding. And that was my wish, for her to surpass me in every respect as my disciple, for her to reach ultimate understanding. Her wings folded so far away, her soul with unsaid words joined the other gods in the great fabric of one idea, that fates tend to plot again in knots, as they say, when destinies and the purest of wishes are moved by the last exhaustion, when there is nothing left to say and everything is known, as if the universal space would be our joint Osirian breath that filled our intellects with divine pride and splendor. Our lives mixed together required only this one moment, when I was kowtowing to the robes and garbs of our mother, Magna Mater. Her body and her eyes, her concentration, focus, and lightness were the wings of the cosmoi, the transcendental hecatic membrane of ascension. And thus I was still, bowing to the symbol of her eternal goddess, kissing her, reaching beyond the visible world into the infinite cosmic voids and frontiers. When she reached the aeonic fire of all stars and the violent chaos of the black forms, the last gesture that I could endow her with was to send my darling to her. The essence of her consciousness, her spirit, when she was dancing and swelling, captured the alchemical knowledge above all the sublunar affairs. Perhaps 'twas I was the cause of her illness, and she was released before I wanted to save her, help her, before the beginning of the violent thunderstorm, before its ending. In the garbs of our mothers, in the great abysses and gravity of our souls and that of the great magnificent monolithical stars, the dragon bodies of infinite stars that call us continuously in their embrace, monoliths that beam and beacon from far away, the traces of infinite splendor, the lighthouses that are longing of the solitary hanged men. Egyptians wrote letters to their ancestors, to the stars. They were written with Keper, the honest art, whose symbol was the scarab in its constant Promethean toil. Search, seek, capture just for a moment, hide, reveal, create and destroy your work, sculpt further. After years, I've seen her face in the stars that was brightly illuminating the night. She reminded me of her, and I thought, how many times will I recognize her? How many times will I miss her signs and symbols? Perhaps we are just illusions that are in an eternal flight, and an eternal chase, a wild hunt after each other, just to witness each other once in this life, to separate, and then to decay into a sound. When the seeking denies the solution, the liberative walks are the last ones in which we may reflect ourselves and each other in. For heavens cannot be the sum of our fantasies, our losses and profits, and the projection of illusions of our lives, illusions of this world, our longings and animal instincts that want to be materialized in a different reality, which are, nota bene, still an illusion. Therefore there must be something much more greater, more terrifying, full of awe, something essential and free. Find me was the most important phrase in a little gift that I received from her on my 30th birthday. It was a handmade illustrated little book made of cards. That was a long time ago, as if that would be an introduction to caution. I said that we meet only once in this lifetime. Let us respect every moment of it fully, with full commitment. Then she looked at me very patiently and understood everything. From all the years that we dreamed about, we received only as much as the fates wanted us to. I looked on her sight above the sea. When she contemplated the waves, the horizon at night, I knew that they know more and reach further. The moon reflected from the breaking waves. When I was watching this oniric vision, the sound of the air above the sea became holy. Her red Neptunal hair was torn by the wind. As we guarded our Dionysian graves, I tried to call her star back to myself. Between the smile of forgetfulness that dragged me back to the earthly things and the great understanding that I have lost her on my very eyes, that the malefics of those pigs and jealous and envious whores, faggots and swine that we couldn't defeat. She slipped among my walks and battles, my humiliations, my anger and monodrams. In the temple of Venus, Cytherea, we leave our graves. We are enslaved in this animated theater and theater animatronic, and only the living ideas are eternally free. Sometimes we are writing our necrologies with our blood essence, our fierce resilience, our dragon passion, the instance of a life as a true man, a true woman. In fact, what I wrote is merely a testimony or an apologetics that is masqueraded as a teaching. And hence this book is sacrificed to my little Artemis Hecate, who has returned back into the embrace of gods. As a dragon, I remain solitary, and I will provide for a solitary reign on Saturn after I fulfill my duties here, to pursue my obligations, responsibilities and duties on Saturn hereafter. Thus, if I will be released after millennia of my responsibilities, I will rejoin my darling. Thank you.